Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the events. So you have your event sheet up at the top here. So if you click on the event sheet, you'll see we haven't done anything yet. So the game is going to check every tick. It's going to check this whole entire event sheet. And it's set for a tick to be 60 times per second, right? So 60 frames per second. It's going to make it to where it can run smoothly, things like that. Also, in this, whenever we add an event, we're going to call the actual event, the first one, this is going to be the condition here, a new condition. And then everything after that will be an action if this condition is met. So if this, then do XYZ. All right, so we'll start off, and on our very first event, we're going to go to the system here. Click next. Every tick, which is right here. Oh, the other cool thing is you can search up here, so if we didn't see it, we could type in every tick. So check every tick, and then we're going to add action to the player, and we're going to set angle toward position. Now it's going to give us an X and Y coordinate here. So what we're going to look for our mouse cursor here. That'll help us aim to hit the monster. So it's going to set the angle wherever our mouse cursor is. So we want to type in mouse.x and mouse.y. Now if it doesn't give you the option for mouse, it means that you messed up and forgot to add the mouse to the object here. You forgot to add it to the layout, excuse me. So every tick, it's going to check and see where we're at and then turn. So let's take a look at what that did. As we move our mouse, but we move around the screen, it points our Super Soaker here in the direction that our mouse is facing. So we have the 8 direction, and now we have some mouse input as well. All right, now we're going to add another event. This time, when we add the event, we're going to add it for the mouse. The condition is if the mouse is clicked, so our left click, so if it's clicked, then what do we want to happen? We want the player to spawn another object, which would be the water bullet. And we're going to set this on image layer, and then image point would be 1. All right, so done. So let's take a look, and once we hit play, let's see what happens. So notice where the actual bullet is coming from. It looks like it's coming from his mouth if you look closely. All right, we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to go into the player sprite where the editor is. This little looks like kind of like a target right here. If you click on it, it's going to show you where the point of origin is for this sprite. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to move it to the front of our little Super Soaker here and then save that. Now let's run our game again and see if it looks like the bullet is coming from our, yeah, there, that's a lot better. All right. We're going to continue on with the events. So we're going to add event, and this time I want to add something to do, since we just now made our water spawn, we're going to make it interact with something. So for example, we could have it set for a collision. So on collision with another object, which object do we want to collide with? The monster. So I'm going to click done. So anytime the water collides with a monster, if that happens, then add an action. What do we want to happen? Well, for right now, just to show you, we want to take the monster and we want to destroy it. Also, we're going to add another action that we want the explosion or excuse me, on the bullet, we want to spawn another object, and that's where we want the explosion to come in. That way, once the bullet collides with the monster, it will be basically replaced by this explosion. And then finally, we want to take our water and destroy that, because we don't want that to keep going on and on throughout the game. All right. So let's run it and see what happens. All right, we had an explosion after that collision with the monster. Things are working well so far. Let's go back to our layout. Here, if I hold the control button and drag over, you can actually create multiple monsters now. So hold Control or Command if you're using a Mac. Make a whole bunch of these. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make these monsters just a little bit smarter. All right. They're kind of running away from us where they're the monsters. They should be running towards us. We're going to set a condition here in the system that once the start of the layout, so on start of the layout, so when the game starts, we want the monsters to do something. What do we want them to do? Well, let's set them first at some random angle so they're not all looking one direction. That looks awkward. So I'm going to type in a set angle. And here we can put in a value, anywhere between 0 and 360. We want it to randomize so that they're just facing in whichever direction, 360 degrees. All right, now let's set something for our monster here. So the condition is, at event, if the monster is outside layout. So if monster is outside layout, then we want to set, get the monster. We want to set the angle toward position. Well, the monster should be chasing the player around, so we're going to say that we want the player X value and the player Y value. So let's take a look and see what this looks like when we run it. We have monsters going every which direction, and if they go outside the layout, like the monster at the bottom just did, here's another one over here, it should come back in and try to find me and go in my direction at the time that it went outside the layout. Now I'm going to show you what an instance variable is. So if we go over here to the instance variable, we're going to add a new one. And this is going to say health. All right. It's going to be a number, and the initial value, we're going to set it to 5. We're going to give our monsters 5 health points. So it's going to take 5 shots for us to be able to take them out. So now let's go and replace an action. So instead of destroying our monster up here, if I right click it, I can say replace action. Now what I'm going to do is choose the monster and say subtract from an instance variable. We already made one, it's health, and the value is 1. All right, so we can set that. So now instead of destroying it, it's going to subtract 1 from the health. Now we need to set something else up to say, hey, we have 5 and we subtract 1. What happens if we get to 0, or what happens if we get to 3, or any other number? So the condition here is we're going to use our monster. So we're at an event, our monster compare instance variable, and you want to set not equal to, but less than or equal to 0. And the reason we do that is because if you use a weapon, for example, that can hit harder than one at a time, you want to make sure that if you're at 1 health and you hit a monster with, a 3 attack, well, it wouldn't destroy if it was equal to 0, because then it'd be at -2. So we want to be less than or equal to. All right, and what action do we want if it's less than or equal to 0? Well, we want the explosion, right? So we're going to click monster, and then spawn another object, and that's going to be our explosion. And then we also want the monster to be destroyed. Now let's run the game. So you can see it takes 5 shots and we've destroyed the monsters. Alright, now we're going to add a global variable. So a global variable is something that happens throughout the whole game, not just in a single event page. Alright, so just right click anywhere on the event sheet, kind of in the white space, and see it says add global variable. We're going to add a score. Press OK. So now you see our global variable up there, score. Alright, so we're going to add an action under our monster. So after we destroy the monster, we want to go into our system. We want to add to our global variable. And we're going to add to the score. Now, people love points. I don't know why people stay with like really low numbers. I'm going to say, 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 points. So we'll just go with 1,000. So we're going to add 1,000 to the score once the monster is destroyed. Now, in order to display our score, what we're going to do is we're going to add one more layer. So if you come down here, and my layers bar isn't open right this second, so I'm going to go to Menu, View, Layers bar. All right, I'll just kind of put it under here. I'm going to add a layer at the top, and I'm going to name it UI for User Interface. You can name it HUD for Heads Up Display, whatever you want, but here's our main layer. Go ahead and lock that. Make sure that the layer you want to work on has the blue highlighting around it so that you're actually working on that layer. So now that we're on the layer, we're going to adjust something called the parallax here. Now this is what allows you to set speeds of different objects or different layers to different speeds to give it that kind of dimension of depth. So here we want to set our parallax to actually 0 because we don't want to scroll. We want the score to stay at the top left the entire time. Okay? So now we need to add the text object. So I'm going to right click, insert new object, and here we want text. Not text input, but text. I'll just click in the upper left hand corner. I'm going to set the position to something really close to the top, 3.3, and that's fine. Alright, now we're going to add our score. So if you go back up to the every tick, because we want to check the score every frame of the game, we're going to add an action. We're going to add an action for this text. And what we're going to do is we're going to set text. Now in here you're going to want to write score and then put a colon and a space, and then outside the quotation marks you're going to want to add the score variable. Done. So now if we go back to our layout, we can see the text up here, but it's black, and the text here, or excuse me, the sprite in the background makes it where you can't see it very well. So I'm going to click on our color here, and we'll make it, like a yellow color, so you see text there. And we can even change the size, make it 20 font, maybe make it bold, italicized. Now let's run our game and see if that shows up. We've got score at the top right, and every time I destroy it, it adds 1,000 points.